Dodgers lost. Padres won. All right, this is the wrap-up show with John and Jim on a Friday evening. How about that? The Padres are 5-3 against the Dodgers, back over 500. The Michael King game, the Luis Campusano game, the Luis Arraez home debut performance, walking off the energy in the building. Make your way in. It is the wrap-up show. We have a lot to discuss over the next hour or so. Okay, I have something that Jim doesn't even know about. Okay, I'm going to drop a bombshell on Jim and our viewers right now. We get this thing to 6,200 subscribers, there'll be a wrap-up show Saturday night. It may not include Jim, but I will be doing a wrap-up show Saturday night. Kristen's in Denver. If we get this thing to 6,200 subscribers and 500 likes, this video needs 500 likes by the time I wake up, and this thing needs 6,200 subscribers tonight while we do this thing live. That means we need 41 people to subscribe that have not yet subscribed. I'll remind you throughout the course of the night, rules are rules. We get to 6,200 subscribers, there will be a Saturday night edition of the wrap-up shows. The Padres again win here tonight 2-1. Cam, thank you. Let's get to 1,000 likes. We also need to tell you about a brand new partner in the wrap-up show, and we will in the next 10 or 15 minutes. But Jim, what a night. I mean, for a Padres team that is now 5-3 against the Dodgers, I think the Dodgers are 24-9 against the rest of baseball. They are 3-5 against the Padres as the Padres walk off tonight behind Luis Arraez, Michael King, and Luis Campusano.
Said today on John and Jim that they've played well against the Dodgers. Besides that one Saturday night game in LA at Dodger Stadium, when the Padres did make a little bit of a comeback in it, like they've outplayed the Dodgers when they played them this year. Plain and simple. And it shows. Tonight they went toe for toe, King and Glasnow in a epic pitching duel.
Amazing.
I know probably a lot of people don't like the pitching duels that much anymore in the game. They want to see a lot of offense and runs scored and home runs and everything. And it's not the best feeling when, you as a team have one hit, right? But King matched everything that Glasnow did. Glasnow matched everything that King did, except he gave up the one run. Like King was better tonight because he went 7 shutout and Glasnow went 7, gave up 1 run. They were virtually identical. And I even texted you. I'm like, dude, this game is going to end in like 20 minutes. And it was like 7:40 because they were just
a quick game, even with the
mowing down these hitters. And then, of course, the 8th inning happens with the Padres, and we'll get into it with the Yuki Matsui decision. But Michael King, well, I would argue, this tonight to me was his best start of the season. If you want to go the Milwaukee game where he had the no-hitter going in the 7th, okay, but this against this lineup tonight was his best performance as a Padre, bar none. And then again, thank you to Peter Bendix for tonight's walk-off victory.
Walk-off? Yeah, the GM of the Marlins. We can get into that as well. I mean, let me just say this. This is Michael King's best career start. 19 swings and misses against the LA Dodgers, who are supposed to win 120 games. To pitch this well against what is arguably baseball's best team and to do it in this environment is incredibly impressive and gives you a lot of optimism for what Michael King is capable of doing, not just next year, but this year for the Padres. Of course, he's under contract for the next 2 years. Let's set the stage again here because a ton of people are subscribing. We get to 6,200 subscribers. We'll do another show tomorrow. Smash the like button for us. We need 1,000 tonight, 500, but we'll take 1,000. Follow us on X, at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the supers. We're going to get to them right now. We'll get to every single super chat tonight. It is a great way to support the channel. We appreciate your super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. There's a La Regadera emoji now available for members. Now, I might need to still work on it to make it work perfectly, but the sprinkler in Spanish for Arraez. Become a member. Click join down below. You get the custom emojis, including the La Regadera emoji. And let's get this party started as the Padres win 2-1 over the Dodgers. At Petco, he
this
says...
is the first one. This is the first comment of the night.
Thank you, run it back. He says, bench Kim or Bogarts for Bobby Barrels. All of it is for another day. Everything that is you got to be able to see the forest through the trees. Today's about the tree. They won 2-1 against the Dodgers. That's what happened here tonight. Benching, changing, maneuvering. Yuki Matsui, they won the game. Yeah. I'm all for it when they lose the game. We get into it. We will, but they won the game against a really good team. So I'm not worried about tomorrow as much as I am today.
And tonight, it's really kind of hard to be down on the offense because you're facing Glasnow. Like if they were facing some no-name rando that is making his like second career start and he came into the game with like a 9 ERA, then we can have a legit discussion about it. But tonight, when you're facing one of the best pitchers in baseball, this happened on Wednesday or Tuesday as well. You just got to match,
Yes.
and then hopefully you get the big hit late in the game and you come through with the win. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Bogey, Kim, everybody in that lineup, by the way, besides Campusano, had a bad night. Except, Campusano and Arraez, everybody, and for good reason. You're facing one of the best pitchers in baseball, so I understand the question, running back. I get it. I do think it's for another day. They're not getting benched. It's a legit thing to think about. But tonight is a night where, you get this amazing, brilliant performance from Michael King, and you get the clutch hit in the right moment, and you come away with the victory. It's just all in all one of the best wins of the season. And honestly, John, it's a win that they needed a lot at home in a low-scoring game, which they have not done all year. And I don't think they've had a walk-off this year either, if I'm not mistaken, because
That's their first walk-off.
Yeah, and they've been 0 in Friday night games. They're not good at home during night games this year so far. All in all, it was a great win, much needed win. And if you told me before the beginning of the game, like regardless of the score, whatever, I said, hey, Luis Arraez gets a walk-off for the Padres tonight. Who cares? Great. It's awesome. Take it. No questions asked.
Well, it snaps a 7-game winning streak for the Dodgers. The Padres are arguably as hot as the Dodgers right now. The Padres are 7-2 in their last 9. The Dodgers had won 7 consecutive games. And let's get to this super from Ishmael. Thank you. He says, what a game. Props to Niebla and the work he does with these pitchers, but we need relief pitching. Let me just spin this conversation a little bit differently. Robert Suarez is as good of a pitcher as there is right now, coming out of a bullpen in baseball, and he showed it again here today. Yes, Matsui has fallen on hard times, which is not anything to go lose too much sleep over. Over the course of a season, most pitchers will have some levels of highs and lows that are coming out of bullpens. Suarez is great, and he's been terrific. Do you still have to bridge that gap? Yeah, potentially, but I'm not gonna go crazy about it. Like we talked today about like Mason Miller with the A's and what it would take to acquire him just across baseball. The Padres have a fine bullpen. Could it use improvement? Yeah, probably. It probably could, like most teams. But what the Padres have that most teams don't have is an elite closer. Robert Suarez is an elite A++, plus reliever with his 100-mile-per-hour stuff, his .52 ERA. I see what you're saying. It's not like Matsui got completely blown up, Jim. I watched the entire inning. He got out of it with the ground ball double play. He allowed a run to a really good lineup. It's going to happen. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. I'm not going to freak out because Yuki Matsui allowed a run in an inning here tonight.
Yeah, me neither. If you want to question the decision to use Yuki Matsui, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not going to crush Schilt for it. Like, it's just, I don't feel like it's one of those like, oh my God, what are you doing decisions? Like, he is a player's manager, and Yuki Matsui has been good for this team all year long. He is a part of the A team in that bullpen. So the thinking behind it, I'm sure for Schilty was, it's the top of the order. It's the toughest part of the lineup. You got 2 lefties with Ohtani and Freeman. I'm going to take my chances against Betts because Betts has been scuffling of late. And then I have a lefty matchup against Ohtani and Freeman, and I have the matchup I want, so I'm going to go with it. If you went out there with De Los Santos, you'd be like, why are you putting a righty against 2 lefties coming up?
Yep. That's exactly right.
Maybe, and I'll. This is something that I think is going to be something that might be talked about inside that clubhouse, is moving Adrian Morejon into a more prominent role in that bullpen for more pressure situations, because he's been pitching very well. So maybe if this same situation comes up tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but in a week or so, right? Maybe you go to Adrian Morejon in that situation in the 8th inning up a run instead of Yuki Matsui. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Eighth inning, 1-run game against the Dodgers. Morejon's been really good, but that's also a next level step for him to be
It is.
pitching in.
Same thing with Yuki, by the way. These are
And
rookies.
we same that I was going to say. I mean, again, and Yuki struggled here recently. He has. And anyone that had the idea of using Suarez for multiple innings, you just do not even consider it.
No,
the season's way too long. You cannot be asking relievers and closers to pick up 6-out saves for you on May 10th. You're asking way too much. And what happens if Suarez can do that for you a couple of times, then you have to shut him down because you've overworked him? It's not worth it. You're already taxing him. He's already giving you unbelievable productivity. Don't force it. Everything that Suarez is doing for you has been perfect. Don't ask him to do more than what he's doing, in my opinion. E-Racing with Dale, thank you for the very generous super and the membership. He says LFGSD, LFGO, NF the Dodgers. Can we get some clap emojis in the chat?
Yes, clap emojis in the chat. Love it.
Appreciate you, man. That's very generous of you. We do appreciate you. Jared, who's loves to make his predictions for the next day, and I love it. Jared, thank you. Says, wow. I think most Padres fans, and by most I mean all, would take this 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits for Matt Waldron tomorrow. Would you take that tomorrow for Matty Waldron?
In a second?
I would take
less
that
than a second.
2
like
innings,
what's less than a second? Like what's less than a second for that? Less than that, nanosecond, a millisecond, whatever the shortest amount of time is in the history of the universe. I will take
is what you would take.
Is what I would. Yeah.
619 Cam, thank you, man. He says, great to see us win games like this. Great game for Kim Cumpy, but I think he's talking about Campy. But Cumpy was good too. Suarez and Arraez, let's win the series. Hashtag LFGSD. Yeah, you're right. You look up, you have 1 hit. It's the 9th inning, but it's also a 1-1 game. And then Campusano with the leadoff double, and then there's the strikeout, and then there's the Arraez. Just, by the way, you can't sneak anything by this dude. His bat speed is so elite. Like, that's a really well-pitched ball, in my opinion. It's on the hands. That's tough to get around on and get as much on it as he did to kind of force that thing into center field. So Arraez is going to just be fun to watch. And to see his energy and his excitement. I mean, you go from the worst team to a team that isn't the best, but they're going to hopefully be in contention this year. Like that's a new lease on life, I would think, for Luis Arraez right now.
It is. I think for him to be up in that situation, and to be with this team in a great environment. He talked today before the game about like the fan base. You know, you're going from a place where you were playing in front of no fans to a place that you're playing in front of 40,000 a night. So yeah. It's a perfect spot for him. And if you look at his career numbers lifetime with runners in scoring position, he's amazing. So there's really nobody else I'd want in that situation with the game on the line, honestly, because he's going to put the ball in play. I mean, think about that. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs. It's almost like it feels like it's almost like a given and guarantee that he's going to get that run home for you.
He's got a really good chance of doing it. To your point, I think he came into his tenure as a Padre 365 lifetime with men in scoring position. I mean, that's utter insanity that's utter insanity for anyone. 365 lifetime with men in scoring position. I mean, it's unbelievable. Okay, this is what I want to do, Jim. For the first time, I want to welcome a brand new partner to the wrap-up show that we need to tell you about. It is our friends at, hold on, stand by. It is our friends at, you can see at the top of the screen, Finley. Okay, this is a San Diego-based company, local San Diego startup. We saw their offices this week, Jim. They can see into Petco from their office, okay? Mm-hmm. This is the quickest way to explain Finley, okay? Finley allows fans to own a piece of the potential upside of real athletes. Let me give you an example, Jim. Remember Fernando Tatis Jr. did that deal with Big League Earnings?
Yeah.
And he gave up 10% of future earnings to this company, right. Big League Earnings. Imagine if you could have invested in Fernando Tatis Jr. Like the guy signs a $340 million deal, right?
I would be rich right now.
You'd be very rich. You'd be richer than you are. So Finley's first athlete is a Texas Rangers prospect. He's one of the top 10 or 11 prospects in the organization, 19-year-old Ashedri Vargas. And what this allows you to do, and you can click the link that's in the description down below or pinned at the top of the chat if you're looking for more information. And you can see, I think can you see the website on the screen? You can. I'll get to it in a moment. What this allows you to do is support a rising prospect and get paid a piece of his Major League Baseball earnings. Like that's really crazy stuff. Guy that signed for like 10K, and the capital that Finley is raising allows him to focus on baseball. So it's a San Diego startup. They're San Diego through and through. I think Mark Grant's an advisor. They've got, again, their first athlete in Ashedri Vargas, who's a Rangers prospect. And it's as simple as this. You can see it on the screen, but if you scroll down, if you click the link, you can see what your return is based on your investment. So you can invest as little as $96. And let's say this kid ends up being the best player ever, like Adrian Beltre. Then you can walk away with like $3,300. If he doesn't end up being Adrian Beltre, you can still get dividends once he reaches the major league. So it's really cool. There's this sliding scale. You invest $100, you get this. You invest $200, you get that. Really cool people. San Diegans through and through. Great way to support, again, athletes that are trying to make it to Major League Baseball. And again, Finley gives fans the opportunity to acquire a stake in the potential success of real athletes. And you and I, we both think that's pretty cool.
And this is a guy that Keith Law has said that, this is just a quote from Keith Law, and he has an advanced bat with a compact swing that produces some sneaky pop. He led the Arizona Complex League with 11 home runs. If you just look at his swing, his build, you're like, okay, that's a guy that could hit for some power. So it's not out of question that this kid, although he's very young, could be in the big leagues very soon. And like John said, you can earn some real money off some investment here by investing in him. And I put the link in the chat, by the way. It's pinned to the top. If you just click on that link, it will take you to their website where you can research everything and invest in him. And we're off and running. So just in the link in the chat description is pinned to the top of the chat there. Click on that. So welcome, Finley. Can't wait to work with you guys. And they're Padres fans, and they have an office right by Petco Park. It's fantastic. Their whole thing just looks right inside Petco Park. And yeah, we have some things planned in the future that we're really excited about.
Yes, we are, that all of our viewers potentially could take advantage of. And one quick point on the prospect that they have signed. You never know if AJ Preller trades for him because it's AJ Preller. So never rule out the possibility. Never rule out that possibility. He could play for the Padres, especially because of the Rangers tie. You never can rule that out. Okay, let's get back to the chat. Thank you, Finley. Thank you guys for hanging out. Please subscribe. If we get to 6,200 subscribers tonight, we're going to do a special Saturday night wrap-up show for you after Dodgers-Padres game 2. Carlos, loyal Carlos, man. Good to have you in the chat. Awesome to hear from you. Says, okay, yes, great win. Tatis Machado and X are slumping. Lucky our bullpen did enough to hang on. Worried still about future. 1 hit through 8 innings, not good. But the offense has been good. Not tonight, but the offense has been good. I told you today, Jim, I'll go all in if they win this series. I consider doing it after this game. I'm not going to do it. I've seen this play out too much against the Dodgers. I need to see them win another game against this Dodgers team this weekend. But I like the trend lines. I like the way the Padres are playing. I'm not yet all in, but I'm trending towards being all in with this team.
They're above 500.
Yeah. They were what, 400 or 500 not long ago.
Yeah. Last year it was like, when is this team going to get above 500? And it took them for like 3 months.
Well, they were, Jim, from 19-19. Their next time to 500 was 80-80.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's a long time. 120 games.
Yeah. So it took them 3 weeks, which is great. I like it.
Yeah, less than 3 weeks, right? You said April 29th?
April 29th?
Today's May 10th. It's been 11 days.
7-2 in May. Yep. After starting out not great in April.
100%.
Man, they're playing good baseball right now. Everything's going great.
Tim, thank you for the super. He says, I would have been perfectly okay if Kim threw his bat and got ejected. Loved the energy.
That was not a strike. That was a horrific call.
By the way, we're seeing more and more of it. It's hard for me to see some of these called third strikes. And
dude, he was, and the thing was, he was trying to lay down a bunt. He brought his bat back, and the pitch was like 5 inches off the plate. I don't know,
I know.
man. And
No,
it
Tim,
completely ruined the at bat because
I don't know how they do it.
I
So you
don't
know what I
either.
mean? Like how do guys not get tossed more often with as bad as strike zones are with plate umpires is a very fair and legitimate question. Will, thank you. I didn't see anything on this, Jim. Did you? Why did the Dodgers broadcast say King was cheating? Did that happen?
I don't watch the Dodgers broadcast.
But that would have been on our social media, right? If that literally, I mean, we would have seen a 15-second snippet if that was actually, was that, Will, can you explain more? Because I'm not aware of that.
It was like Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser accusing him of something.
I don't know. I need more on that, but thank you. Jared, thank you. Says Luis carries today. Yeah, which one exactly? I mean, it can't be Sana. Like we should mention, like he didn't get cheated on the home run.
It was
Okay,
a bomb.
freaking bomb, 430 feet. He double. I mean, I feel like everyone's going to talk about King as they should. Everyone's going to talk about Arraez as they should. Home debut. Luis Campusano, 6 total bases in a night where it's impossible to do anything against Dodger pitching. That's a huge night for Luis Campusano.
Yeah, they basically get no hit almost if you don't have Luis Campusano tonight. Think about that. You know, Arraez had that walk-off single, but I mean, without Campusano, you're not even in that situation. So this was also a game that is solely on Luis Campusano for the main reasons why they won tonight, which I mean, just think about the production you have got from the catcher's position this year, John, compared to last year at this time. I mean, Campusano, he's hitting 283, 23 RBIs, and a 765 OPS. I'll sign up for that.
100%. We haven't spent a ton of time on him. You know what I mean? In terms of like, I think we did earlier, but it's like it's kind of been like for whatever reason, he's just been one of those guys in the middle, right, Jim? Like we talk about the big three, and then we talk about the struggling bats, and then there's like Luis Campusano.
Well, I've said that the main guys in this lineup that have really been the keys to it being a top 10 offense is Profar, Cronenworth, and Campusano, and Jackson Merrill, because all 4 of those guys, John, except for Profar, but you're pretty much getting the same production as you would get from Juan Soto in left field. Upgrade at first base in production, upgrade at catcher in production, upgrade in center field for production. You're getting upgrades at 3 premium spots on the field in first base, center field, and catcher, which they did not have last year. Is it like all-star level quality from these guys? Maybe you could argue Jake Cronenworth's giving you all-star quality right now, but not from Campy or Jackson. But still, compared to what they had last year in those spots, Nola and Grisham, like
that's a great point.
It's just not even comparable. The upgrade there is just, it's so far and away better than it was last year for those 2 spots specifically. And then it helps when you replace Juan Soto's production with almost exactly the same type of production you would be getting from Juan Soto in left field. And you've upgraded at first base with Jake Cronenworth being one of the best offensive first basemen in baseball. So, those 4 positions right there to me are the biggest reasons why they're a top 10 offense. Just imagine if like one of the big 3 and Toddy, Bogey, and Manny get hot along with those 4 guys.
Yeah, then you're looking at a really damn good team is what you're looking at.
Right.
If and when that happens, you're going to look at a team that's actually going to really potentially take off. Will, thank you for the super chat, guys. If you're here, please subscribe. Trying to get to 6,200 subscribers tonight. Smash that like button for us. Trying to get to 500 likes. Appreciate the supers. We'll get to every single one of them as the Padres win over the Dodgers. First walk-off of the year, 2-1 to get back over 500. Will, that's very generous of you. He says, great effing win, Jim. Actually, he said great fucking win, so I'll say it. King was unreal tonight. Arraez was clutch and was ready for the spotlight in the biggest spot in the game. Very surprised Dave Roberts didn't walk him. Let's win the series tomorrow, LFGSD. You know, it's a really interesting point, obviously, from our perspective, whatever. We're not going to break down why the Dodgers lost the game in real time. Spot on. Runner second, 1 out after a strikeout for Arraez, who singles everyone to death. Now, again, it's a feared front of the lineup for the Padres. It's a legitimate lineup. It's not like, oh, let me just put Arraez on them. Good, but you're setting up double play balls and you're setting up forces, and Arraez is tailor-made for that spot, and that's very well put by Will.
I think that If I was Dave Roberts, I'd probably walk Luis Arraez.
Yeah,
That's
because
just
why
me.
not? Why not?
I mean, guy is just gonna put the ball in play. And when you are either in the tie game, bottom of the ninth inning, and you're in the road team, or you're in extra innings, the like scariest person on a team besides you know like Barry Bonds or Juan Soto
Right.
or whatever, is a guy that one never strikes out and two always puts the ball in play. And 03 is a career 325 lifetime batting average. That's a scary guy to face in extra innings with the winning run and scoring position. Tatis has been struggling. Okay. Cronenworth has been very good, but he's not Luis Arraez. So in that moment there, like, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, not walking Arraez in that situation, and taking your chances. But then again, it's like, well, you walk Arraez and you go to Tatis, and what if Tatis does it? Then you're going to be crucified for that too. You're like, why did you walk
Yeah,
Arraez to
but I
get to
agree with
Tatis?
you. But Arraez has been the hotter hitter just because he hits, and you're
Yep.
setting up a force of 3 bases or 2 bases, second and third, and you have a potential ground ball double play, which is tough on someone like Tatis. But again, it's better than not having it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all things being equal, you walk Luis Arraez, and we could care less because it cost the Dodgers. It didn't cost them the game. It may or may not have cost them the game. But again, if the Padres lost in a similar circumstance, we would be discussing it ad nauseum. But the Padres won.
He's hitting 375 with the Padres this year. Like with his brief time with the Padres, he's hitting 375.
It's pretty good.
I probably am going to take my chances with Tatis in this moment, honestly.
Probably true.
And I'm glad he didn't do it.
Exactly. Matthew, appreciate you, dude. He says, great pitching from both sides. It was unbelievable. Felt old school. This popped up during the game. This is the first Major League Baseball game since 1901 in which both starters went 7+ innings with 10+ strikeouts and 2 or fewer hits allowed. Marine Layer. No, I'm kidding. Just good pitching is what it was tonight
Really good
from
pitching.
Glasnow and King. And you'll run into games like that at Petco Park. You will run into those low-scoring May, June, April games. We haven't seen a zillion of them this year, but tonight was just one of those nights.
Nothing about tonight you could say Marine Layer.
No, it was all swings and misses.
It was swings and misses left and right. When Campusano, elevated that ball, that thing flew out of that ballpark.
It would have left anywhere. Yeah, exactly.
Was not a cheapie. The movement that King had on his pitches tonight was just pure filth. And Glasnow is just, he's just pure filth in general. But if you're getting that Michael King, John, for the majority of the season,
his changeup's unbelievable, but his sinker can be just as devastating. Like that combination of sinker, changeup with movement, 19 swings and misses against the Dodgers. This isn't just some random lineup. All the lineups are good. It's the big leagues, but this is elite. 3 guys hitting 331 or better coming in, 4 guys hitting 300 or better, regulars.
Yeah.
This is not just some run-of-the-mill. This is a historically good lineup. I hate to say it, but it's factually accurate. That's what they have been, and that's what they're capable of being, and that's the lineup that Michael King shut down tonight.
And this was a fairly big start for Michael King, because he's been up and down. He had 4 home runs against the Dodgers last time he faced them. Didn't look particularly great. 3 of those runs were unearned. I forget why. I think there's probably an error in there. But
there definitely was. Yeah.
I forget by who, but he's now had back-to-back really good starts, and coming off of getting shelled by the Phillies at home, he pitched well against the Diamondbacks, and he pitched beautifully tonight against the Dodgers. So stringing together some consistency and consistent starts, especially with Joe down and kind of some uncertainty there a little bit, this would be a very good development for the Padres if, along with Dylan Cease, who is an ace, along with Yu Darvish, who has been really good coming off of the IL, Michael King now stepping up, okay, now we're talking. And if Joe can come back and be healthy and start pitching like Joe, this team, when they got the pitching and their offense being a top 10 offense in baseball, we saw that stretch last week when they won 4 in a row. They're unbeatable Literally, they're unbeatable when they have that pitching with scoring 6 runs a game. They're unbeatable.
And oh, by the way, and we don't exactly know what it means, but Joe Musgrove was quoted today as saying that he's likely to come off the IL when he's able to come off the IL. So we don't know if he's going to pitch like Joe Musgrove 2022, but we may see Joe Musgrove sooner rather than later. I think he's eligible 1 week from today, so maybe he pitches in the next 7 or 8 or 9 days for the Padres. We'll get back to the Supers. We'll get back to the conversation in a moment. Please subscribe. Trying to get to 6,200 subscribers. If so, we'll have another wrap-up show for you tomorrow night. We do need to thank the title sponsor of the wrap-up show. We can't do this without your support live or on replay and the support of our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. He's been so valuable to this channel since day one. He can be valuable for you and your family as well. Take it from us. I've got homeowners, life insurance, earthquake insurance through Mark. He's an amazing insurance agent. He can save you time and money if you ever have to file a claim. Switch your insurance to him. He's going to save you $750 or more. Just a great insurance agent. Click the link in the description down below to get free quotes. You're looking at his website on the screen right now. You can call him and get free quotes. He's a lifelong Padres fan, native San Diegan, loves the channel. If you support the channel, please support Mark. But I'm telling you, whether it's auto, home, renter's life, earthquake, whatever it is, trust me, he's an amazing insurance agent, a huge supporter of this channel. A lot of you guys have gone with Mark over the years. If you have an insurance need, get in contact with Mark Nimitz.
Yeah, all his information is on the ticker below, and Nimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to our buddy Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
We appreciate you, Mark, and thanks for texting, as you always are with us throughout the course of the night. Let's get back to the chat, and this one from Alan. Thank you. He says, with Musgrove out, nice to get this from King. That's kind of where Jim just was a moment ago, and I think, again, cautiously good news is that Joe Musgrove is likely returning from the IL at some point sooner rather than later. We'll see what he looks like when he does return, but it's a very good point, Alan. JD Gacho, thank you, man. Good to have you here as always. He says, inducing Muncie's ground ball double play was huge. It was such a weirdly hit ball because a run is in, it's first and second one out, and it's right up the middle, but it wasn't hit.
Somebody gets out of the way.
Yeah, and it wasn't hit so hard where when Kim fields, he's got to race to the bag, it's bang, bang. Yeah. Then the throw on the other side is bang, bang. I mean, you're a split second away from everyone being safe, but because of the way it all transpired, you get 2 bang, bang outs.
Yeah, and that was huge. I know everyone's probably, dogging
it was a
Yuki Matsui
play.
But
or got out of the inning. It was a very good defensive play.
Very, very good defensive play. Also, Bogarts had a nice defensive play tonight as well. The Yuki Matsui, the Yuki decision. Okay, I get it, but he limited it to 1 run. It wasn't like a blow up inning. He didn't give up 2 walks, a hit, and then a home run, a grand slam. Like, that's a disaster. This wasn't a disaster tonight. He kept the team in the game still. That's his job. I know that his job also is to hold the lead. That's the number one thing he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that doesn't happen. And when you're facing the best 1, 2, 3 in all of baseball, that's probably you're a rookie. I mean, the guy's a rookie, John. And he's asked to face Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Will Smith, not
an easy spot.
No, it's not an easy spot.
Dude, I don't even care if Suarez is pitching there. Guess what, folks? It's possible to allow a run in that spot, no matter who you are facing that lineup.
Now it makes it all better because they won tonight. So we can be like, okay, live and learn, right? You dodged maybe a bullet there, but he also...
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah, I get it, John.
Dodger?
Yeah. No, I know. I get it.
Okay.
But yeah, they kept the games tied, didn't give up the lead, and it could have been a lot worse.
Way too much chatter on Matsui in that spot. Way too. Oh, I knew they shouldn't go to him here. No, they could have gone to anyone. Dodgers, late inning spot, top of their order, clutch hitting. They scored a run. I mean, oh, wow.
It was going to be a tough spot anyway. It was going to be, knowing that you're facing the top of the lineup, whoever you put out there is going to be risky unless it's Suarez, but you're not putting Suarez out there.
And not for 6 outs.
Yeah. I don't care who you put out there. You put Morejon out there. If you think that's a better option, guess what? It's still going to feel the same way.
It's still hard. Yep.
If you had Tom Cosgrove Tom Cosgrove still going to feel the same way. Wandy Peralta, it's going to feel the same way.
Same thing.
So no
Taylor
matter
Santos,
who they put
whomever it is.
out there, right? It
I
was
agree.
gonna feel like buckle your seatbelts, here we go.
100%. Roger, thank you for the support of the channel. I think maybe
Thanks,
a super
Roger.
sticker, but we appreciate you supporting our work. We really do. Murray, thank you, my friend. He says, shh, don't say it too loud. I won't even read it. By the way, John, you on board yet? I've been as on board as anyone, from cautiously optimistic to saying all in. If they won against the Cubs on Tuesday against Imanaga, they lost. And then I said, if they win the series, I'm all in. For John Schaefer to say all in at 22 and 21, if they can win one of the next two, I think is a pretty big leap of faith. But I like this team and I like what I'm seeing. I'll go there when they get there. And by the way, if I'm going there in the middle of May, it's fairly telling, especially based on what we saw last year. But I like this team.
I mean, we're both all in on this team, but like, no. What I meant is like, if they happen to lose 20 in a row, we're not going to just stop doing the wrap up show. Is
No,
my
then
point.
I won't be all in if they lose 20 in a row.
No. But my feeling still is the same after, when was it? I think it was Tuesday night, leading into Wednesday's day game. I'm like, I feel pretty good. I feel optimistic. It's not gonna sway me one way or the other. If they've beaten Imanaga, they happen to beat Glasnow tonight. They didn't beat Glasnow, but they beat the Dodgers during a Glasnow start, which is huge. And I feel good. I feel good about this team. I do. The record needs to be better, obviously, but hey, you're back over 500 now. You've been playing really good baseball this month after a subpar April, and this is a tough schedule. This is not like a walk in the park. You know what this schedule looked like this month, and playing, not great baseball in April, like you're going to have to follow it up with a pretty good month of play here. And so far, so good. I just feel good about this team, knowing that they have a bona fide ace and Dylan Cease. They, stole Luis Arraez, one of the best hitters in the game, from Peter Bendix and the Marlins. And they have a top 10 offense in baseball. They have the best closer in the game, one of the best closers in the game. And they're doing this all without Manny, Tatis, or Bogarts being that much of a real factor.
Real quick. Thank you, Jared. I've tried to do two things at once. Jared wants to know if I'm on board yet. Yes, I'm on board. I don't even know why I'm saying it that way. I'm 100% on board. If you want me to say I'm all in, let's see them win this series. Don't you think that's fair, everyone? Because we've seen this game before. Take a game, lose the next two. They've been really good against the Dodgers this year. In fact, Jim, if they win this series and get to 6-4 against the Dodgers, is that what they'd be?
Yeah. They're 5-3 right now. They
How
won
many more
2.
games they have left against LA?
No. They're not 5-3. They won 2 in LA. They won 1 in Korea.
They're 4-2. I keep saying 5-3.
They're 4-2.
I'm an idiot. So they're 4-2, but if they get to 5-3, they only have 5 games remaining in the season series. So they'd be really well positioned if they can get to 5-3 by winning one of the next 2 games. But yeah, I'm on board. John, thank you for the super. Sean Burrows, what sad news. What sad news. 43 years of age, former first-round pick, played 4 years for the Padres, dies of a heart attack while coaching, I think, his son's Little League game. 43 years of age. That's way too young. I'm 43. That's way too, it doesn't matter if I'm 43 or not. That's way too young. So that's really, really tragic news. Thank you, John, for the super chat to remind us of it here tonight and to mention it. Sean Burrows would be proud of LFGSD. How sad is that? So sad.
Oh, it's one of the most heartbreaking things you could read. Like, 43, you never want to see anybody pass away that young. And it just, to make it even more heartbreaking, it happens during his son's Little League game. You're like, you're just heartbroken for the family, for his children. And prayers to his kids and his wife and his family that they're going through like literally a nightmare right now. And there's a lot of things in life that are more important than, frankly, there's a lot of things in life that are more important than Padres baseball and this wrap-up show. And one of them is family. And, to hear that today is just kind of puts a lot of things in perspective, honestly.
It really does. Of course, we all know we're human, so things can happen, and unfortunately, they do. But that's terribly sad. So our thoughts are with his family. There's no question about that. Back to the supers. Thank you, Juan. We appreciate you. He says, "So, are we really trusting Waldron? Ask me in 24 hours how trusting I am of Matt Waldron, who will start. He will get the ball tomorrow against James Paxton, who has been very good for the Dodgers this year."
Well, I mean, look at it this way. You're pretty much fully rested in the bullpen. You didn't tax Suarez. You can go at least another. You can go tomorrow if there's the opportunity there.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably won't use Yuki, but guess what? You still have Brito that you can use to back up Waldron. You got Peralta, De Los Santos. They're fresh. Morahone's fresh.
Morahone. Yeah.
So with Darvish on Sunday, you have kind of an opportunity here with, a rested bullpen to kind of unload the clip here. If you can do it, like if you have a lead in maybe the 4th inning or the 5th inning and Waldron's giving you solid 4 innings, you might want to do that, but see how the game goes. And you have a lot of options is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not at the point where I'm like quitting on Waldron. It's not really personal. I mean, every team has a 5th starter, so you're always going to have better starters and worse starters. I think he's a capable starter, and let's see him be capable, I guess would be my point. I'm not saying go outright the guy immediately or has absolutely no value. It'll be interesting to see how he pitches tomorrow, that's for sure. Brian, thank you for the super. Appreciate you guys. Please subscribe. You're on content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us. We'd love to get to 500 likes tonight. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for supporting the channel with the super chats by clicking the $ below the chat box. If you want emojis, custom emojis, you can click the join button down below. He says, what do the Padres have to give up to get another team to pick up? Oh, okay. The Bogarts contract, in your opinion? I mean, if I were to seriously answer it, Brian, because it's a fair question if you're a Padres fan, because you're thinking, what on earth are we going to do? You have to eat essentially the entire contract to even have the conversation. Which is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Which is insanity. They would never do it in a million years. Plus, this player a year ago had real value, even if they overpaid for him. So you'd have to eat a ton of money to even have the conversation. And I don't think the other teams are really interested in having that. Maybe there is an example. Maybe I'm missing something, but you'd have to eat a lot of money to get started.
It's also probably a non-starter because he has a no trade clause too. So
true, but right now it's obviously a non-starter. It's got 10 years left on his deal.
Talk to me in like 5 years.
Yeah, maybe
that's,
if he doesn't hit for 2 or 3 years, Brian, to your point, and he may want out, that doesn't mean they can get him out. Because who's going to want him? I don't know. The Padres going to want to eat all that money.
But at this point in time, with the way that they're playing, the way that everybody in this lineup is producing, except for the big three, like I mean, their numbers and their offensive numbers, it's like 5th, 9th, 2nd, 1st, 6th, like they're top 10 in everything, pretty much. And that's without Manny, Bogarts, and Tatis doing much of anything. Like Tatis was it felt like he was going to have one of those seasons when he started out hot. I think he had like 6 home runs in the first 3 weeks, and ever since then it's been ice cold.
I know.
Manny is doing kind of exactly what he did last year.
Kind of blah,
not a lot. And Bogarts is way worse than he was last year. Bogarts in the first month of the year, John, had 6 home runs in April.
I remember that. Remember we were so high on him and me. I'm like, this guy flat out hits.
And then he just went in the tank and he got hit on the wrist. And then it took him a while to get it back. And September was, like amazing. And you thought that was going to then hopefully carry over to the next year. And instead it's been the complete opposite. It's just like, guys, every time he goes to the plate, it's an automatic out.
I'm going to fast forward in the supers to our buddy Rob, who's the CEO of Finley, who, by the way, this is day one of their partnership with the wrap-up show, as we told you about earlier.
Yes.
Rob, you didn't have to do this, seriously.
Thank you, Rob.
That's very kind. We told you guys about this company earlier. And again, you got a San Diego startup, okay, working in the sports business with offices that literally look into Petco Park. They are a stone's throw away from Petco Park. Spectacular setting. And we told you about Finley earlier. It's really an incredible company. We're super excited to be partnering with them. Again, Finley allows fans to acquire stake in the potential success of real athletes. We pin the link in the top of the live chat. There's also a link in the description down below. You have to check it out. Check out their website. You're going to be amazed by this. When I first found out about what Rob was doing, Max as well, this whole company, you're going to be amazed by it. If you're a baseball fan, you're going to be fascinated by this. So just get more information by clicking that link in the description down below. Rob, by the way, says, let's go Padres, game of the year thus far. Rob from Finley. And I think he is spot on, Jim, in regards to that. Is there a better – there's been a lot of good games. The Cubs 8-0 comeback win, but this is against the Dodgers. I mean, this is right there. This is one of the wins of the year.
Yeah, I think it's one of the wins of the year easily. And in a year where there's been a good amount of candidates for wins of the year, and last year that there was not many. This year so far, there's a good handful, and that's a good sign. That's a very, very, very good sign. But thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, man. Glad you're a part of the wrap-up show. As John said, if you want to go to their website, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Link to their website. Finley is definitely something that you all should check out. And, it's going to be with us here for the foreseeable future. And we're excited to grow with them. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to do.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Rob. Seriously, thank you for hanging out. Let's get back to the supers here. E-Racing with Dale, thank you, man. See, I'm kind of with Dale here, and I'm with some others as well. He says, regarding Yuki, I agree with J&J. People are overreacting. We're playing the Dodgers. We're going to give up some runs. Right. He got hit with the ball, bounced back, and got out with minimal damage. I mean, yeah, he allowed a run. And when you consider it was second and third, nobody out. He allowed a run. I'd almost spin it, to Dale's point. And I'm not a spinner like this typically. What are the odds in that spot the Dodgers score 2 or more runs? High.
I thought it was over. I thought it was over. I was like, this is over. It's going to be a heartbreaking loss.
Out against most teams, there's a 55% chance of – I'm making this up, but hear me out. Don't you agree? There's a 55% chance that 2 runs score. Against the Dodgers, there's a 65% chance or higher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're a single away from trailing is what it is, and he got out of it at 1 run, and that's fine. In the end, again, like you said, Jim, his job is to preserve leads. He didn't, but he allowed 1 run. He preserved a tie. It could have been worse.
Could have been way worse, especially when you start the inning off with a single and a double. But it's like, oh, shit, this is going to be one of the most heartbreaking losses of the season after that performance from Michael King. And
my gosh, you're not kidding. And like the King no-hitter game, because they lost that game.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is going to be exactly like the Brewers game where he pitches his ass off. The offense didn't give him much. I forget who they're facing that day, but still he left with the lead, and then Wandy gives it up right away. I thought this was the same thing. I mean, the odds of more than 1 run scoring in that situation were very
7
high.
10. It seemed like against the Dodgers, it felt inevitable.
So, hey, if you want to shit on Yuki Matsui and say that Mike Shildt doesn't know how to manage a bullpen, go right ahead.
I agree with you.
But I would tell you that it's probably even more impressive that with the runners at second and third, to only give up 1 run there and there's no outs in that situation and be kept in the game. Like, he didn't get taken out. He could have easily get taken out after Freeman.
3 batters.
But Shildt left him in there, and he only allowed the 1 run and gave them a chance to win in the bottom of the 9th. So I actually think Shildt might view that as like one of the better performances from Yuki this year, considering all of that.
Kind of a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Murray, thank you, man. Appreciate you. You said 87 and 75 at the beginning of the season. I mean, there's work to do to get there, but it's not unrealistic at all. It's just not. I mean,
no.
I could be convinced of anything from the way they're playing now, Jim, I don't see a team that they're going to win 80-something games, are they not? I mean, they'll be in the 80s, and that makes 87 realistic. I mean, could they win more than that? We need to see more, but I think that's realistic.
I said 86 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's very similar.
I still stand by it. 87 wins. Absolutely. I could see that happening potentially. I do think like 86 feels like the cutoff. Like anything below that, you're asking for trouble. Like it's just going to be very close and tight. But if you get to 86 comfortably, I think that's good enough to make the postseason with, especially with all 86. The teams that you're competing against. Like Giants ain't it. The Diamondbacks, I don't see it right now. The Reds ain't it. Pirates ain't it. The Reds fell off a cliff after they beat them 2 out of 3 here. It feels like this is kind of there for the taking. And if they don't make the postseason, something really bad happened.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. All right, back to the Supers here. Guys, again, if we get to 6,200 subscribers, I'll do a wrap-up show for you tomorrow night. I think we're 25 away. That's amazing. So let's get there, and let's get to 500 likes. How many likes are we at, Jim?
It's a good question, John.
With 560 people here live, or whatever the number is right now, we should have 500 likes.
We're at 240 likes right now on this this YouTube channel. So,
guys,
let's go. Come on,
thank you. Just click the button. It takes like 0.2 seconds.
Less.
Damien, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the membership. He says, Chrome ball off the glove. Just wanted to see another King strikeout.
That was a little weird. Well, he has glove problems when he plays the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. I mean, listen, you saw some King strikeouts, did you not? 11 of them. Did he have 8 through 3 innings?
I think he had 7 through 3 innings, maybe 7 or 8.
I mean, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits, 7 scoreless innings. I mean, that's kind of a masterpiece against LA. And by kind of, I mean it's a masterpiece against LA.
I don't watch Dodger games, but I would think that it's hard. You'd be hard pressed to find many performances versus the Dodgers this year look like that.
Right. Especially over the last 16 games where they were 14-2.
Yeah, you're probably not seeing many 7-inning, 12 strikeouts, no run games.
No runs when they're going 14-2.
Right.
Mauricio, thank you. Appreciate you. He says the only really sketchy part of this season was the 5-game losing streak, which, by the way, remember they had a 5-run 8th-inning lead. Other than that, it's felt positive, and today was incredible, so intense. It's like, again, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Yeah.
But he makes a good point.
The 5-game losing streak happened. They're not taking that away. You can't, at the end of the year, be like, well, they had a great season. Just take away the 5-game losing streak they had. Like, it happened.
Right, because then they would take away your 5-game winning streak if you have one.
Right. Or the 4-game winning streak after the 5-game losing streak or whatever it was, right? So, like, that happened. It's a credit to this team for not letting this thing spiral early, because it could have spiraled early. It could have been like, wow, we just lost 8 of 10. And you go to this Dodgers series and it's like, this is not going to be fun, right? But instead, they righted the ship there pretty quickly. And the moment on that Tuesday night versus the Reds where Schilt took the run off the board and Manny had the bases loaded with 1 out, comes through right away on that first pitch, kind of felt like a
big spot,
like a turning point, John.
Oh, did you say the TP?
A turning point? I mean, now it's legitimate. You could say it, because ever since that moment, they played fantastic baseball. 7-2 since that moment.
I mean, is that what it is? 7-2 since that moment? You're right. Yes.
So sign me up.
I mean, I think Schilte's pulling the right strings, and there's been this like absurd level of criticism of his bullpen usage for a team that's been pretty.
It hasn't been here. It has not been here with us.
I agree. I agree, but I've seen on social media some high-level critiquing of a manager that, in my opinion, has managed this team very effectively to this point. Nobody's perfect. He's not perfect. He would tell you that, and I would tell you that. He's had moments, like anyone would. There's thousands of decisions over a season, thousands, that could or could not be made. He's not going to bat 1,000, but I think he's fared pretty well.
Now, it takes the player, obviously, to be on board as well, and what I'm talking about is the Suarez factor here, by using him more than 3 outs, which you could not do last year because the player was not on board. I'm sure if you asked Bob Melvin, would you like to use Josh Hader here for more than 3 outs? Probably more often than not, he'll probably tell you, yeah, absolutely. And I bet you they have 3 or 4 more wins that last year if they have Josh Hader out there for more than just 3 outs. I almost can guarantee that because Josh Hader was really good last season.
I think you're right.
And it helps when you have players that are willing to do anything for the team, like Robert Suarez. And I can already definitively say this team has 3 more wins than maybe they should have because he's used Robert Suarez for longer than 3 outs. That's a compliment to Mike Schilt. And that's having to do with bullpen usage. So you could look at it and be like, well, Schulte's cost his team a couple games. Well, he's also won them a couple games by deploying Robert Suarez in the 8th inning with 4 and 5 outs to go when that wasn't the opportunity last year because the player said, nah, I only care about myself and I'm only going to go 3 outs.
Right. Okay.
What's going on?
I'm just trying to make sure we get to everything we need to get to here tonight. It's a busy night. We appreciate you guys hanging out again. Let's get to 6,200 subscribers. We'll have a wrap-up show tomorrow night if we get there. By the way, our friends at Underdog Fantasy Gym, I don't know if you realize this, they've got a brand new offer for our viewers tonight. This is brand new, never seen anywhere else. Listen to this.
Okay, I'm listening.
First of all, look what I have. I've got a free pick. Okay, Kyrie Irving, half point. I think he scores it.
Oh, I think he does too.
So listen to this. Our friends at Underdog, if you scan that QR code or click the link in the description down below, are now offering a 50% deposit match up to $250. So hear me out.
What?
If you deposit $500, you're getting $250 free dollars. They've never offered more than $100 free dollars before.
What?
You can now get up to $250. And by the way, you can start your deposit at $10. You deposit $10, they'll give you $5 free bucks. You deposit $20, they'll give you 10 free bucks. You deposit $500, they're giving you $250 free dollars if you use promo code PADSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. PADSWRAP. You get that 50% match up to $250. And Jim, I got a winner tomorrow automatically because I got a pick 'em here with Kyrie Irving. Okay.
Love it.
And then let me just go to MLB. And let's find some Padres Dodgers.
If it's up, it's up.
It's up. I mean,
it's a little
no. Yeah, I'm not playing Ohtani. Give me something you like tomorrow from a Padres perspective. It's James Paxton. He's not unhittable.
I'm going to say Tatis does something against James Paxton. Give me over 1.5 total bases or higher than 1.5 total bases.
So, by the way, because I get the free pick, basically, if we go 1 for 1, a $10 wager pays $33. They're giving you $33 if you go 1 for 1. Okay, just to be clear. But let's keep going on that. You want to play?
Give me an Arraez. Give me something with Luis Arraez.
Ooh, you want Arraez?
I mean, he is like. I feels like we should be playing with Luis Arraez like every single game.
Where the hell is he? Where the hell was he?
Did you miss him?
Off the board because he's lights out.
He's so good. Did you miss him?
Yeah, no, he's off the board right now. They'll put him in eventually. Probably trying to calculate it. But I would say this, they have a Zokar in there. Waldron, I mean, I'm not scared to go like higher than 5.5 hits or higher than 1.5 walks potentially.
Lower, you mean?
I'd go higher.
Okay.
You go higher than 1.5 walks, pretty reasonable to me, and $10 pays $52.80. Now, again, you can keep going. I mean, if we want to throw in like a, let me just go cute here. Like we want a Profar home run tomorrow. All of a sudden, $10 pays $374. You see what I'm saying, guys? So like, use promo code PODSWRAP. You get the 50% deposit match up to $250 free dollars. Okay, use promo code PODSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below or scan that QR code. We've been having so much fun. I'm playing each and every day. Yeah,
it's guys. If you guys want to win some big time money, Underdog Fantasy is the place to go. It's fun. It's interactive. It keeps you engaged. It's definitely something that you guys should be doing if you like to gamble here. And I think Underdog Fantasy is the perfect form for people. It's an app on your phone. It's easy to do. Scan the QR code here. It will take you right to Underdog Fantasy if you don't have the app downloaded. Use promo code PODSWRAP, and you are off and running, guys.
Absolutely. Use that promo code PODSWRAP. Thank you so much here for the super that I think is coming in from Japan with the Japanese yen.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you don't need to feel bad for Matsui. Matsui has performed well in his first 6 weeks in the big leagues. He hasn't performed perfectly, and he's fallen on a little bit of hard times here over the last 2 weeks. He says, "I feel so bad for Matsui. Extremely tough situation and matchup. Thank you, J&J." Don't feel bad for Matsui. I mean, this is the big leagues. It's not easy. It's his first go around the big leagues. He's been fine. I think arguably he's been better than fine. Again, he hasn't been good recently, but he's got like a 4 ERA in his first 6 weeks in the big leagues. I mean, I don't think it's anything to get overly concerned about as of yet.
No, he's a big boy. He's an adult. He's a major leaguer. Like, we're not going to feel bad for somebody if they don't perform. I mean, you feel bad for somebody if they get hurt, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. This is interesting here, John. I just saw Marty tweet this out.
Yeah. What do you got?
Luis Arraez spoke post game and he said, quote, "I said to Victor, to my hitting coach, hey, I finished this game. I got the opportunity and then I did it."
That's amazing. He wasn't kidding.
Victor Rodriguez, he went up to him
best.
and he goes, I'll finish this right now. And he did. I freaking love. I mean,
I love.
How could you not love Luis Arraez?
Who doesn't like Luis Arraez?
I mean, this guy is like,
does everything.
You know who he reminds me of? Like his personality. It really reminds me a lot of Jerson Profar.
Good.
Like
he's now their teammates.
Just like always happy. He's always goofing around. What he does to, first base coach every time.
Oh my gosh, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, dude. But I think he's just his energy is infectious, and I mean, when you're performing, it just makes it that much better. Like you can be the happiest guy in the world, and you can be a goofball, and you can make everyone laugh. But if you're hitting 091, it doesn't really carry the same weight. Like, when you're hitting 331, it carries a little bit of weight because now you become this like guy that people are looking towards to kind of be the igniter of the team. And that's what Tatis was in 2021 and in 2020.
No doubt.
And then, you missed it not last year, but in 2022, but Machado led the way there. And I just think it just makes it that much better when the main clubhouse glue guys are performing.
21 subscribers away from 6,200 for that Saturday special wrap-up show edition. Please subscribe if you have not as of yet. Thank you guys for the super chats. Antonio says, sorry join late, but let's effing go, Arraez. And rest in peace, Sean Burrows. Yeah, all the emotions for Padres fans, reasonably so, on a night like tonight. As we've talked about, Antonio, so we appreciate you hanging out with us. We've talked about it all. Obviously, Arraez. We've touched on Sean Burrows' untimely passing as well. Yeah, again, I think a great night at Petco for Padres fans, and then you kind of know that real life is real life. But I think the moment for Luis Arraez is pretty special. There's no doubt about that.
That's like a storybook. Like, hey, I just got traded here. It's my first home game with the Padres. I am gonna hit a walk-off against not just a walk-off, but against the Dodgers.
Yeah, best, arguably the best team in baseball. Division rival for the Padres, no doubt. Murray, thank you. He says, I started watching 98 Pods games last week. Omen. Maybe. You could take credit for that, Murray. We have no problem with that. Absolutely. Could be a good omen.
Could be.
Christian, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says, just got home from the game and had to hop on to watch you guys. It's awesome. Thank you, man. He says, electric atmosphere tonight, watching King go to work. And Arraez cap it off. Yeah, I love seeing people hop in here. Whenever we do the like a Friday night coming off a home game and there's 40-something thousand people there, and that's basically every night. We know that a lot of people are watching on replay because you're in the venue. You're at Petco. By the time you get out, maybe you're driving home, right? Maybe you're with friends, family, whatever it is. A lot of people watch on replay, or maybe you watch 60 minutes later or 90. Well, what's cool about this is, the game ended so early, Jim. We always start at 9:35, so the game ended at 9 or whatever time it was. So then there was 35 minutes, and now we're another hour into it. So I think a lot of people are probably back from Petco and then hopping on and looking for content.
Yeah, and probably when you join, it's like, okay, I'm going to join live, but I also have to go back and watch the first 50 minutes of the show.
I know. So I think there's a lot of people that are behind. Like I do that sometimes with live.
I do too,
streams. where I'm like
Oh, yeah, I'll
behind
do
and it's
yeah.
sometimes I'm catching up.
Yeah. But thanks, man. Appreciate it, Christian.
Yeah, I do
And
appreciate
thanks to
you.
anybody who saw us today at Naughty Barrel saying
Yeah,
hi.
we've talked to a lot of people today.
Yeah. I apologize. I don't remember everybody's names, but you know who you are. And yeah, that was fun. And we're out there every Friday home game this season. And
We
it
have
was,
stickers. Come
we
up and
do.
I say, give me a sticker.
Give me a freaking sticker, you idiot.
Do you have a sticker on you right now, Jim?
It's in my backpack over there in the
Okay.
corner.
But yeah, John and Jim stickers. So we'll give them to you if you come up and say hi.
Hold on. I think I might have some. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
What's this? What's this? What do I have here?
What do you have? Do you have the sticker box?
Oh, is that a sticker? Is that a sticker? Is that
Look at you. Look at that. That can be yours if you join us at the Naughty Barrel any Friday.
Nice John and
3
Jim
to 6.
sticker. Sorry, we don't have any wrap up.
Isn't that worth driving, 40 miles and
a sticker?
paying $60 to park?
Worth 40 cents to make.
We
Sticker.
both parked at meters today, by the way, guys. Me and Jim, I mean, it's the Dodgers. It's a Friday. You're thinking you're going to have to pay $40, $50, $60, $70 to park. We both parked at meters.
Almost had to.
We almost had to pay $60.
I paid a total of I think $350.
I paid like 5 or 6.
Like for 4 hours because there was a
But that's
meter.
great. I have no problem with that. $60 is a lot different than 6.
Oh my God. The place that I was going to park, which I usually park, usually is like $7 for like 3 hours. It was $65 because of the Dodgers.
The place I parked the last Friday home game was 25, and then today was 65. From 25 to 65.
That's the Dodgers
effect. Yeah, Dodger effect. HBBV.
PPPPJJJJJJJ.
He says Padres win series. I do a name reveal. Hashtag Mookie eats. Okay. Corn.
Do you understand that?
Jim is laughing.
John?
It's a what?
Mookie eats corn vertically.
Okay.
He eats corn up and down.
Will you really reveal your name if they win this series? Does that mean?
Do you not get that? Wait, do you really not get that? He eats the long way. He eats corn the long way.
Why?
Help our innocent, pure of heart, kombucha loving, tofu loving John Schaefer out, chat. Why does Mookie Betts? Why is the saying Mookie Betts eats corn the long way?
And while you comment in the chat, I want to remind you guys about our friends over at Aura. They've been with us for over 2 years. If you're looking to get healthier, then consider picking up something from our friends over at Aura by clicking the link in the description down below or going to ora.organic. They have all plant-based nutritional products, every single one of them. I've been taking the probiotic every day for 2 years, which is incredible for digestion. It's an amazing product. It really is. They have pre-workout supplements. They have proteins for after workouts. They have omega-3 oils. If you're taking a fish oil, take the omega-3 oil. Get the same health benefit. It's plant-based from our friends at Aura. They have sleep pills, immunity pills, and much, much more. Click the link in the description down below. You're getting free shipping on U.S. orders right now over a certain threshold. You can see at the top of the screen. So ora.organic, get healthier. Everyone wants to get healthier. Support the channel. Their co-founder, Will, is an amazing guy, lifelong Padres fan. This company has offices right here at Liberty Station in San Diego. So again, if you support our channel, please support all of our partners, including our friends at Aura.
Yeah, go there right now if you want to live a healthy lifestyle. If you crave living a healthy life, Aura is the best place to go to pick up all of your supplements for your daily usage. For gut health, they have probiotics. For sleeping problems, they have sleep pills. For they have omega-3 fish oils. They have everything you need. Protein powder, pre-workout powder. It's all organic. It's all plant-based. Go there right now, www.ora.organic. Pick up some supplements, and you'll thank us later.
Yeah, I see the chat. I think I know. I kind of get what the chat's saying.
What was I going to tell you?
Thank you. I don't know if it's Kimumaki but our friend that had the super earlier from Japan. Thank you.
You are now. You can have all of our emojis. All of our emojis, special features,
badges, access.
So
thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
And you guys can become members too by clicking join down below. All right. Did we get to 6,200?
Did we get to 6,200, John? The answer.
Drum roll, please.
one. We did not.
No, but
We're 19 away.
But if I check this at 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, after I drop off my wife and son at the airport because they're going away for 2 nights to see her best friend. If I check this at 9 in the morning and we've reached 6,200 with all of you that have watched it on replay, whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast or somewhere in between, or in Korea or Japan or anywhere, if we hit 6,200 by the time I check this tomorrow morning, I will still have a special Saturday night edition of the wrap-up show. But I need your help, guys. So let's get to 6,200.
What if they lose 13-1?
It doesn't matter. I'll do it. I'm a man of my word.
Okay, cool.
Don't put that into the ether like that.
I'm just asking a question.
What if they get perfect game to lose 100-0? I'm just asking the question.
We both know if this team wins again tomorrow night in kind of similar fashion, you're gonna tell me I need to hop on and I need to stop being soft and who cares about a wedding, and right? Is that pretty much what's gonna happen? Yeah. And then everybody in the chat's gonna, on X tweet me and be like, Jim, what are you doing? You're missing the greatest wrap-up show ever. They just had another walk-off win versus the Dodgers. Are you kidding me?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Exactly. So Jim will be here tomorrow night too.
No, dude.
No, here's the thing, Faye. I mean, we have very specific demands. I almost feel like it's like a movie. It's like, here's the demand.
Movie.
It's like one of those movies where it's like a
rant. Like we have demands. If you don't meet our demands by 9 a.m., then we're blowing up the building.
No. Just no wrap-up show. If we get to 6,200 subscribers, now we're supposed to get to 500 likes as well. We'll get there on replay. I trust you guys to get us to 500 likes.
Yeah.
I trust you guys to get us to 6,200 subscribers. We're 18 away. So trust the process, and there'll be a show tomorrow night. I think it would be at 9:30. What time's the game tomorrow, Jim? Is that a 5:40 start, or what time's that?
It's a great question, John. The answer to that
5:40.
question is 5:40.
So I'm thinking either way, though, a 9:30 show, because I kind of like the 9:30 time. And by the way, that'll allow people to get home as well. 5:40 game ends at 8:30. You got an hour. It is Saturday night. But I'm thinking a 9:30 show. But help us get to 6,200. Help us get to 500 likes. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Again, thank you for the super thanks if you're here on replay. And thank you guys for becoming members as well. Please support, again, our partners. Finley, awesome to have you guys on board.
Yes.
Click the link in the description down below to learn more. Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor.
In the chat.
Or at the top of the live chat, you're saying?
Yes, the link to Finley is in the top of the live chat. If you're interested about what's happening with them and you missed us talking about them earlier in the show, click the link, go to their website, check it out.
Yeah, I also changed the link, by the way, in the description, so it's all good.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I did. Farmers Insurance, you know about Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor. Support them. Aura, get healthier, support them. And again, promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP, get that 50% match from our friends at Underdog Fantasy, up to $250 free with the 50% deposit match. What a night.
What a freaking night, man. That was good. That was a good win. It was funny. I tweeted out right before Arraez hit it. I was like, Arraez walk-off's going to hit like crack. And then literally second later, he hits a walk-off. Felt good, man.
Would it have happened without your tweet?
Probably not. Some are saying no. Some are saying that I did this tonight. I was the main reason why they won.
Did you? I'm with you. And by the way, I say weighted off, and all the, Tatis 0 for 3 and the Bogarts 0 for 3, weighted off. They won tonight. Like we said, the Matsui allowed a run. It's all good. They won. They beat the Dodgers.
They faced one of the best pitchers in the game tonight. I am not going to, and I did not talk really at all about Xander's night or Manny's night or Toddy's night, because everybody had a bad night. Everybody besides Campusano and Arraez had a bad night. So picking up the win when 7 of your 9 hitters in your lineup have bad nights, you think you take it.
Before we go, can you say, Jim, say the Padres winning score to get rid of your 13-1 loss prediction, LOL?
6-4.
6-4 Padres tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like it. Behind Matty Waldron.
There we go.
Thank you, Mike, by the way, loyal viewer. Okay, guys, appreciate you. We'll see you potentially tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, 9:30. Subscribe. You know me. I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jim will be soft, so we'll have to bother him by tagging him on social media tomorrow at 9:30.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jim.
Peace. Bye.